Hello, and welcome to the Performer's Guide. Get your act together, 21-day personal challenge. We're on day 12, to-do lists. So by this video, hopefully you have done your Wheel of Life, you have done your SMART goals, and we are going to utilize those two documents to create our to-do list. So I love using to-do lists. I usually have a master to-do list, and then I create smaller to-do lists within my master to-do list. And I have always used to-do lists. It really does help me stay organized and on track. And we're going to talk about some of the different ways we can keep a to-do list. So one of the ways is just write on the SMART goals, right? The SMART goals is already broken down. You've already got them all right there with the dates. You can just do your to-do list right off the SMART goals. The other way you can do it is on a handwritten piece of paper. A lot of people are still analog in that way, where they like to use a journal and like to take notes in their physical notebook. Another way I like to do my to-do list is in Google Drive. So creating just a Google Doc, having just, a master list there is an excellent way to have your to-do list. Another one is having it in your notes. So like every phone has a notes app, and I also like to use the sticky notes app, where it actually puts like a faux digital sticky note right on your screen. So I can make, I do that especially with my MITs, which we'll talk about tomorrow, is just putting it right there on my home screen. And another really popular one, if you've gone through this round before, I love Asana or Asana. I always forget how it's pronounced. But it's an app that you can use that allows you to keep track of your goals, and you can put them in by category, by project, by company. You can add in different collaborators and project managers onto it. It's really great if you manage a team or if you manage many projects that you feel maybe would help you stay organized. And I love it because it just motivates. It actually sends little motivations and reminders. And when you complete tasks, it'll literally shoot unicorn rainbows across the screen. I'm like, it's got the positive reinforcement that I like. So I love that app, and I put a link to it in the to-do list module. So that's what we're going to do this week. We are going to take our Wheel of Life, make them into SMART goals that have dedicated dates, reorganize those dates by order of date, see if there's any that maybe are too crowded, maybe you pick June 1st for a lot of your goals. It's a good time to sort of reevaluate the dates of things and sort of give yourself spaciousness and reevaluate that. And then we're going to put it onto the to-do list, where you will have it broken down by project, by category of the Wheel of Life, and then all the to-dos, and then you can create subcategories in each one and start to break them down into actionable steps. And so when you have this, we can start to work together, because I can start to help you break down this plan of a Wheel of Life, SMART goals, and an actionable to-do list, versus coming to me saying, oh, I'd love to become a professional performer. Oh, I need help with one thing or another. This will give me a holistic view of what your to-do list is and what you need to get done for the course of this program, for the course of the season, for the course of the year, and then all the way above and beyond. So I like to make my lists into which I have broken up in the SMART goals, right? I have weekly goals, monthly, yearly, seasonal goals. And so when I even break them up like that, it allows me each time when I'm starting to break down a to-do list item, I can go, okay, I'm going to pick something that needs to be done today, something that needs to be finished next week, take steps towards something that needs to be done by the end of the year, and make sure that everything is moving forward in a timely manner. Yes. And so next week, we're going to talk a lot about time management and task management. So it's going to be helpful to know what our to-do list is and have them broken down so that we can start to piece that back into our habits, back into our calendars and our alarms. We're going to see here like, oh, if I have a to-do that's due at the end of whenever, then I need to set an alarm to make sure that I'm doing those steps every day or every week. When am I setting aside time to do the to-do list? Yes? And then we are going to break it down. And tomorrow we're really going to focus on breaking it down into our most important tasks. But another way I like to break it down is utilizing a bullet journal. So this is a different way that you can keep track of notes. And I will put an example into the module as well of my favorite way and type of bullet journaling, which in its essence, you create to-dos, and then whichever ones you don't complete, you move over to the next day. And then every time you do that, some will naturally fall away because you'll realize maybe I've created some to-dos that aren't actually important enough to even write onto the next page. And it gives you a chance to reflect on your goals every single week. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to rewrite all of these into my journal. Are they the same? And so we're going to create the goals and the to-do list, but we're also going to reevaluate this over time because oftentimes we meet and it's like, oh, I've actually totally shifted from my to-do list and I have different to-dos, and that's totally fine. But at least we have something on there to check off, ignore, and reevaluate later. Okay. So let's remember not to allow our to-do list to stress us out. So oftentimes when we make a to-do list that is as extensive as the way that I do it, it can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so much further behind than I thought I was going to be. I feel overwhelmed. And instead of doing that, just remember that there's no time limit to any of this. And you just have steps, and you can look on there and pick one that feels important. And we're going to talk about how to choose which ones are super important next week. But you're going to be able to pick and choose and reevaluate them as you go. So this is sort of a yes and moment. Just put down everything you feel like you need to do, because what it really does is instead of stressing you out, it takes everything off of your mind that's been there. And for me, when I have a to-do list, I sleep better. I'm less stressed. I just don't have to worry as much about that because I know it's written down. And that's why I'm a big advocate of just writing as much as you can down. And I even keep just a smaller notebook by my bed so that if for some reason I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, oh, got that big thing to do. Oh, don't forget to pack that sock or whatever. You know, I'm leaving tomorrow for a trip and I just remembered something. Write it down. Just keep a little to-do pen and paper by your bed, right? I like to keep one in my bag. Like I have a harness bag and I just keep a little notebook in there. Make sure your notes are handy on your phone, but then also put all of that onto the master list. And that's why I like to have the master list, because otherwise I've got to do here and a to do there and a to do there and here and there. And that's all great. We want to make sure we have all that on the master list, and then we can reevaluate our to-do list in a single to-do list as opposed to having one here, one there, one there, one there. Okay? So that's your homework for the week. We are going to make a to-do list, And when you have your to-do list, then it'll make it easier for us to work together, as well as make it easier for you to achieve your goals on your own. And that's why I like to do this, even if I just work with a client once in a discovery call, because I feel like once we go through this process of these 3 worksheets, it's like everything's laid out, and then you're able to at least know the steps you need to take for the year. And then if you'd like some extra help, you know I'm here for you. Okay, so pick an app, pick a mode of writing your to-do list, whichever one works best for your learning style, and let me know how it goes. Let me know how you feel about making your to-do list. And then tomorrow we'll talk about our most important tasks and how to choose daily tasks and start to chip away at our to-do list. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you're enjoying the Performer's Guide. Get your act together. Have a wonderful day.